Hello and welcome back to Become a God, a constructed Faeria series where I'll be playing decks on ladder and trying to climb up to the God rank. Last time we had Green Red Crackthorn, old favourite of mine. I wanted to see how it fares in the metagame. It did okay, it wasn't too bad, but this week I want to try something a bit more spicy. I want to try Red Yellow Events. I'm a big fan of this deck. I don't know if you guys remember when I did a deck doctor on this list. I was a massive fan of it, and I'd love to see if it's viable now that some of the more powerful decks have been checked with the most recent balance patch. So let's get into the games and see how this deck performs. Alright guys, into our first match, and returning to an old favourite here. I really love this deck. Not when I draw a hand like that, or a hand like this, but when I draw a good hand, this deck is a lot of fun. So where are we going to go? I feel like we just want to build towards Garadan. That's our only play right now. Play to the strength of your hand, I like to say. And the strength of my hand right now is a Garadan. Okay, so hopefully pick up a creature. Excellent. So we can now go into Axe Grinder. And we can put a desert here so our Manta Riders can double collect. We're a little far away from those right now. Going into the Fanatic. I actually feel like I want to put Elementals in this deck. Maybe instead of... Maybe I put Elementals in instead of the Windstorm Chargers? I don't think Windstorm Charger is as powerful as it used to be. So we're getting another Axe Grinder down. We go up to 3 Faeria, taking us to 7. Collect. Not going to be enough to Garadan, unfortunately. But that's fine. I think as long as I can start collecting off 2 wells, I'll be pretty happy. Looks like this is just going to move down. I might have to leave Axe Grinder here a turn. There we go. Manta Rider shows up. Speak of the devil. Yeah, so guess I just pass here. I really want to crack this open before I Garadan, but I'm not going to have that luxury, I don't think. I don't want this to double collect and kill my Axe Grinder. I'm just going to wait a turn. I can't Garadan anyway, so there's no point of putting my Axe Grinder in danger. If my opponent wants to kill my Axe Grinder, it's going to have to double neutral and then use a mobility trick as well. So I'm forcing some cards out of my opponent's hand. A mobility trick can be used on the Manta Rider now. So it can move down, collect, move across, collect, then move down with a Flash Wind or another Fanatic, hopefully a Fanatic. And then take care of my Axe Grinder. But that does crack it open for the Garadan, which is something I wanted anyway. Oh, yep. So this is a delicious... Oh no, gonna go for this one instead. Okay. I was hoping that the Manta Rider was going to clear my Axe Grinder there, but opponent playing very smart. Playing around my area of effect removal. I do have 3 mountains up, so just respecting that. So we'll move this back, and then we'll go for the Windstorm Charger. Now, Windstorm Charger, just kind of haven't seen much of in recent times. It's still a solid card, I think, but I do need some land ramp in here. I think that would really help me. And if I was going to cut anything, it's probably going to be the Charger, because I think Manta Rider's just better. Yeah, going to Campfire, clear that out. My opponent has so much Faeria. Yellow Tempo is such a difficult deck to deal with. That's probably why Mono Red is showing up so much. You know, the area effect removal and all just the single target removal as well is very effective against a deck like Yellow Tempo. We'll see if my opponent's willing to collect. That's my question. Are you willing to double collect on the right hand side now? Colossus? Yeah, okay. Goes for the Colossus. Takes the neutral. And there we have it. So I can actually desert here. Move here like this. Into Garadan. This does leave a double collector on the right hand side, but I do have Flash Wind, so I can chase this down. And as this does come down and collect, I do get to eat it with the Garadan. The Garadan does get his meal. Likes mantas, tastes good. And then my follow-up play is a Manta Rider, so now my more durable creatures are going to come down. I've managed to fend off the early tempo and been able to stabilize here. Kaleem's Training. That card can be very handy. Let's take care of this. Manta Rider. Well, +1. I want a lot of Faeria to work with. I need to... The one key to beating yellow tempo is just to out-resource them and retain ball control. You know, Faeria is a very important part of yellow tempo. You know, being able to starve your opponent. If you remember last episode, my last game I played, I was very starved of Faeria, thanks to my opponent's efforts. Wow, willing to throw everything at my Manta Rider there, spending 5 Faeria in total. This does get reduced, so 4 Faeria in total, but 2 cards for 1 card. That's a really good trade-off for me. I'm willing to take that. The sad thing about Elementals, going back to some changes I would make to this deck, the sad thing about Elementals is my access to Elementals in red and yellow have 2 life. So they get beaten by Cypher's Wrath, Soul Drain, Flame Burst, Wind Soldier, to name a few cards, whereas, you know, the Wood Elemental is much more durable, much easier to keep alive. So it's a little sad. Let's move here, because now we're threatening some damage. I'm a little cautious of Flash Wind Kaleem's Training from my opponent. So I'm going to play this here. And that was actually the perfect draw, because now if my opponent uses Kaleem's Training Flash Wind to clear out my Windstorm Charger, I'm going to be able to follow up with the Soul Drain and finish it off. Yep, Kaleem's Training. Go down. Mobility. Move across. Hit. I Soul Drain it. Punch my opponent for 6 damage. That's the plan, at least. Maybe choking sounds into Flash Wind, which makes things a little bit more problematic. And we kind of initiate a race, but I feel I win this race against Shaitan Demon. If we're both 6/4s, I definitely win the race. We'll see what the follow-up is. There has to be a mobility trick. Yep, gonna clear that out. Go for the Manta Rider to block me. Oh, excellent. So I can clear the board. Now I could have Soul Drained this and hit for 6. But I'd just rather clear the board. I am a control deck at the end of the day, so I'm trying to control the board. But there was actually, I think, a reason. I should have considered going face here. So Flame Burst, Soul Drain, the Manta Rider gone, hit for 6. My opponent takes an extra 2 from the Demon, and then I'm racing a Demon with the Garadan. But because I can't play Ground Shaker on the follow-up if Garadan dies, so maybe I should have raced there. I'm not sure. I got a lot of value out of this Garadan. This Garadan's been pretty amazing. Is it going to be a Colossus? Okay. They're going to race me with a Colossus. That's absolutely fine. I'll take an aggressive mountain. I don't want him to be able to wind soldier it. But I don't feel I can actually do anything about that. Okay, let's make sure if he does wind soldier it. Oh, we could double neutral here and wind soldier. That's fine. If I put this to 7, put my opponent down to 11, hit for another 7 into a ground shaker, dealing 1. Now let's do that. Oh, going for the hit. So I guess there's removal for this. Oh, no removal. Feels good. We gotta just go for a draw here. 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I had gone for the Kaleem's training, I would have had lethal. Feels bad, man. Okay, well, we'll use 1. We can get away with 1, I think. Goes for the draw. I think I am going to make the changes, even though the Windstorm Chargers just died, which is what the Elementals would do. But at least I get to accelerate the land of my deck to make sure I can play everything in my hand, which I feel is probably a little bit more important. Yeah, and that's going to be it. Well played to my opponent there. Good first game. I love this deck. It's so fun. And I am going to make that change. I do want to try it out so we can have a little bit of experimentation while we're going through this episode. But yeah, we'll be back with this deck, but changes are going to be, we're going to swap out the Windstorm Chargers and we're going to add Elemental. Alright guys, another match. Ooh, Sky and Enemy in the early game. That could be fun. We go against Rush. We have a good way to lock something down. However, I don't feel like it's really worth it. I will keep the Flame Burst though. This is removal. And we got the Air Elemental to start things off, so not bad. Not bad at all. So I'm going to start here actually. So I don't have a turn 1 Harvester. I've not seen a lot of Rush since the changes. I think I've played against 1 Yellow Rush recently. Now, is this mono green or is this going to be Crackthorn, I wonder. So we've already set 3 lands thanks to the Air Elemental, which I think is more valuable than playing a Windstorm Charger, for example. Windstorm Charger, you know, not as good as it used to be since its change. And it's going to be Crackthorn, so we're going to line up some removal for this, I would imagine, very soon. Do I just stop the Axe Grinder spot altogether with a double neutral? I think so. I can take a mountain here, and then all the Axe Grinder spots on the left are gone. I'm just hoping my opponent doesn't have a Flame Burst or a Cypher's Wrath. That would be ideal, but that's a little optimistic from me, I think. This is dead. It's not dead. Oh wait, is it dead? The Air Elemental lives. Feels good, guys. Take the mountain here. Flame Burst this guy. And pass. So now we're building towards this Colossus. I'll probably go for a desert here anyway, because it's a really good dash line. I just wanted to stop the Axe Grinder, and actually rewarded me, because if he had played an Axe Grinder here, I would have to invest even more removal into clearing it. But with that cheeky double neutral, I was able to just go for card, which is ideal in a lot of cases. So it feels pretty good about that. Going for a more aggressive land, perhaps? My opponent has a lot of Faeria, but my Faeria count it's pretty decent as well. We're both double collecting right now. As long as this lives, I'm going to be in a pretty good position. I do need to find some more creatures to play, ideally. I would love to pick up a Manta Rider. Manta Rider would be ideal. Garadan going to come down. So much work Garadan did last time for me could have the same result for my opponent. Ground Shaker's not a bad follow-up. Could take my last mountain here. And my opponent could move here and develop an aggressive mountain, but doesn't push any damage that turn. So yeah, let's just take the Ground Shaker and go from there. The 6th life is really durable against Crackthorn. Unless there's a Crystal Flower, this should stay alive and I should be able to trade off with this. Unless an Elderwood Embrace comes down, then I'm in trouble. But I'm just playing into the fact that he doesn't have it. It's a little sad if Elderwood does come down. Because I would need to draw another Soul Drain, ideally, to finish off the Garadan. Crackthorn could be pretty dangerous as well, actually. Crackthorn could empower even the Garadan by 1 to keep it alive. So Crackthorn's probably just going to be the follow-up here. No, it's Ancient Boar, okay. It's a little less deadly than a Garadan, but again, if it's power-ups I see, power-ups could be a problem. But we'll see what happens. It is going to be Elderwood Embrace. Feels bad, guys. So I need a bit of combo removal. I do have the Nightmare. It's pretty good. Well, sort of. I can't take 8 next turn. This is what I would like to call a sad Nightmare. Because you're Nightmaring from behind. This is why I only run 1. And I'm even considering taking it out. Axe Grinder. This is where things start to get very difficult for me. 2 and 3 are the life totals that I can manage quite well. Anything other than that becomes quite difficult. So bad. I don't have a good position for this to be in, really. Stick it here and hope for the best. Yeah, this is it's not going to work out for me, is it? Especially if he clears it with the boar. If he clears with the Axe Grinder, it's not too bad. But like I said, we'll see what happens. Deciding where to place the land. I need like a miracle now, because I didn't get to play a lot of events in the early game to get this reduced. Garadan is sort of a miracle, but not the miracle that's going to help me. So I'm going to surrender here. We're just going to call it at that. And that is going to be a loss going forward. So we have 1 win, 1 loss. Even Steven right now. Let's get into another match. Alright guys, into our next match. I did have another game, but it was against Yellow Rush, and it was not that interesting, to be honest. So, yeah, it's just Rush kind of snowballing it. Control of me not having a lot to do about it. But I mean, we could actually keep both of these. Let's try it. So I added Iona's Smile, I dropped Last Nightmare, and I dropped the Air Elementals down to 2. So the idea is that I'm able to tutor, kind of pseudo-tutor, a lot of my flying cards. You know, Manta Riders, I have Garadan, I also have Air Elemental. I'm going to see how that plays out. So going across here now, we got the Axe Grinder start. We can even take a desert here to set up a good Manta Rider land for the future. Looks like my opponent is playing probably Red, Yellow, Burn. Now that I've seen a Brute. Let's see what we find. Manta Rider, excellent. Okay, so we have the Manta Rider. If we pick up a Kaleem's Training, we could use it to clear out the Brute. feel pretty good. Brute moves up, Grimguard moves behind. Yeah, I think we pass there. I want to keep our Faeria for next turn. A little terrified of what will happen. This brute is moving closer and closer. Could become a problem. An enemy! Great card to stop aggression, but not so good against combat creatures, unfortunately. And we can take care of the Grimguard with a Flash Wind, which is what I'm thinking. We can just answer it like that. And then if this gets cleared, we can maybe follow it with a Garadan next turn, so... Or maybe we have to go in. Maybe we just play aggressively now, going forward. Yeah, you know what? Let's go in. I can play another Manta Rider down here, just in case I need to defend. Force my opponent to have the damage to crack this open, which will line this up for a Garadan. I think what might have been better, actually, is using the Manta Rider, Flash Winding up, and then mounting here instead, and then playing an Axe Grinder with it. But I've made the play now. We'll see how it goes. Ugh. Yeah. Not good, is it? It's not good at all. I don't know. I'm just going to die to burn at this point. I mean, I can an enemy here. Maybe move this into a position to hit face on the follow-up. Yeah, just an enemy. Hope for the best. I mean, I can get some air elementals. I'm going to have to play a Manta Rider down. And hope I draw Flash Wind to set up lethal. So yeah, I think that's my line. Like, I move here, hit for 5. I move here, hit for 5. Move here, Flash Wind up, hit for 5 to finish it off. Oh, no, my opponent just has Flash Wind. And there we have it. Very quick game. Not very interesting, unfortunately, just getting burned down. A little sad about that, but what can we do? Maybe we do need the hard removal. I think the Iona's smiles are a little cute, so I think we'll go back and include some more hard removal. Alright guys, another game. Hopefully it will go a little better this time. We're going to keep the Axe Grinder, we'll keep the Flame Burst, and we just get the Flash Wind back. Feels bad, guys. So yeah, we'll get the Axe Grinder down. Start collecting Faeria nice and early. Didn't work out for us last time, but hopefully we'll go a little better. Alright, goes for a Forest. Another Flash Wind. Not helpful. I would like better draws than this, please. What are the problems with events decks in general? You know, event decks do suffer at the hands of clunky draws sometimes. Well, that's not too bad. I'm fine with training because I can train in Flash Wind and I can move in and hit for damage. So what my opponent plays on this side, it's going to be a cheeky boar. So I probably just cross instead now.
Could Flame Burst this on the follow-up. I'm just hoping there's no power-up. If there's an Elderwood Embrace, what can a man do? It's going to be an Elderwood Embrace. Hopefully I'll pick up Ground Shaker to finish this off, or I pick up Garadan. Garadan would be ideal, because I can combo the Flame Burst on this. See what this is going to be. Maybe a Grove Guardian? Yeah, okay. I figured a Grove Guardian would show up. I'm going to take a land, and then I can mount in here. Oh, that was a pretty good draw. Do I Soul Drain Flame Burst this? In order to keep my Axe Grinder alive? I have so much Faeria. I think I just Soul Drain this. I just pass. Because even if these trade off, like I'm sitting at 10 Faeria. It's not like I'm Faeria starved right now. Elderwood Embrace. Emperor's Command. So I can still finish this off with a Flame Burst. I'd rather get a Garadan at this point, because I can kill both of these, which is ideal. Goes for a forest into a Faeria Golem. It's a bit of a nightmare. Oh, hello. So 0 Faeria, both of us have a collector, but I have a double collector, so I feel like I'm in a good position. +1 Faeria Golem would be really sad here if a Faeria Golem was to come down this pipe. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. Faeria Golem's a bit of a nightmare. Take a draw. So I was double collected and then a Faeria Golem came down, so not a lot I can do about it, unfortunately. The Curse of the Faeria Golem. Alright, we're getting out of dodge here. Oh, I have to kill them. Like I just have to deal with it. Maybe I just play a Ground Shaker. So frustrating. Oh, I should have taken a draw first. Choking Sands wouldn't help. Alright, let's lock this Faeria Golem into place. Or maybe I should have locked it here, locked this one into place, so I could finish this one off. Please don't have another power-up. Please don't have Elderwood Embrace. Don't think I win if... I don't think I can win if this gets Elderwooded. Oh, man. Okay. Flame Burst. Take another draw here. Choking Sands, absolutely useless in this matchup. It's very frustrating that I add Choking Sands in to help with my red matchup, and then I just go up against mono green. I'm just like, well, Choking Sands are useless now. I guess I can choke in your Willow, which you're going to feed anyway. Oh, an Ancient Boar, fantastic. Alright, we're going to stick Manta Rider in the middle. And we'll just pass. The teleport here is just going to be game. I'm hoping there is no teleport. I'm hoping I can try and line up a clear on the right side, Faeria and Golem, with the Soul Drain. That's the plan. The teleport here is pretty bad. Grove Guardian's probably just as bad, to be honest, because now I can't even take care of this, which was my plan. Well, I can Flash Wind out, and I can finish this off, but what else am I doing? Play a Colossus, I guess? But again, I'm in the same miserable position I was before. My opponent has a power-up. There's not a lot I can do. Yep, okay, we're going to surrender this game. And yeah, there's nothing I can do against that. Like, realistically, my opponent had all the answers, all the best cards, whereas I was kind of scraping at the bottom of the barrel there to try and get something going. Back down to 9. Crackbomb was doing pretty well for us, but it looks like Red Yellow Events doesn't really cut it for this meta. We'll play one more, and we'll see how that match goes, and hopefully those Choking Sands will help out. Alright guys, final match. We do have the Axe Grinder, which is pretty nice. We could line up into Manta Rider, and then go for the Choking Sands if we need it. So I'm going to try this hand out. We get to start off, which is quite nice, because we get to collect first, which is always really cool. So I'm always happy to go first if I can set up a turn 1 collector. Explore into a forest, into a bone collector. So this could be sacrifice? We'll have to see. What could be the follow-up here? Choking Sands on this is a little sad, but the thing is, Bone Collectors snowball, and I'd rather pay 2 extra Faeria to kill a Bone Collector. Well, it'll actually be it'll be actually 3 extra Faeria because now it's collected. Because I really don't want this to get out of control. Spirit of Rebirth. A little better on the Faeria management. Yeah, I think I choke in this instead. We'll move this up and then we'll pass. So very similar land development to last time. You know, gearing up for that Manta Rider. Little Bloom Sprite's going to come down into Demon Wrangler. So getting a sacrifice off. Into a Voice of Hunger on the left-hand side, just as a collector. So I'm going to move this back and I'm going to play the Manta Rider. And hopefully pick up some mobility and try and take care of the Bone Collector by moving around it. Bloom Sprite. Alright. I think I'm happy to take a draw. Soul Drain, very useful. Does push this up quite a bit, but I don't think I mind. Because I can do this. Yeah, this goes up another. So it goes just out of range of the Manta Rider. But I can follow up with another Manta Rider. I could even an enemy, but I don't think I need to at this point because I think I'd rather the Bone Collector kill this anyway, because then the 2/2 can finish it off. Unless there's some additional sacrifices, and that could be a problem. Fanatic. Oh, very nice. So yeah, maybe I should have choken this all along. The choking, this is starting to get out of hand, as Bone Collectors do. If I pick up some removal, I should be okay, but it's not looking great. Runin's Messenger. Okay. Ground Shaker. A little late to the party. So the last Manta Rider, we've had all 3 of them in the early game. Very fortunate. Bone Collector moves back. And more sacrifices begin. So yeah, the greedy Spirit of Rebirth clear. But to be fair, the Spirit of Rebirth would also add all the power-ups to it as well. So I would still be in a very similar position. Let's take a draw. Playing an enemy here to make sure this can't kill my Manta Rider. I don't want to Flame Burst this. I'm probably going to need Flame Burst for this. The longer this game goes on, the harder it becomes for me. Because not only do I have an 8-8 to deal with, I have whatever Soul Eater's at right now, which is going to be a big problem. Just passing. Garadan. Okay, so what can Garadan get done? Really wish I had a Flash Wind to go with it. Garadan cleans a lot up. Take a draw. I might pick up Flash Wind. I didn't get it. So, move up, move up. Maybe just wait a turn. Yeah, I'm just going to wait. I want to be able to kill everything, ideally. So I want to pick up a Soul Drain or something. To Soul Drain this, then Flame Burst it, then Garadan, then clean up as much as possible. Because right now, this is going to go up to a 10-10, and then it's going to lose 3 life to the Garadan, so it's going to be a 10-7. So there's not a lot I can do about that right now. Wind Soldier. Okay. Luckily, he doesn't get a power-up. Spider. Okay. Ground Shaker Garadan doesn't give me what I need. That's what I was thinking about then. Garadan kills 4 things right now. Let's take a draw. Okay, Flash Wind. I need another Kaleem's Training, I think. No, I can use Flame Burst. So I play Garadan. I move. Oh, if I had one more Faeria, I would Ground Shaker Kaleem's Training Flash Wind instead. I think is pretty good, but I don't have that, unfortunately. Okay.
I still have Soul Eaters to deal with. Which is a little sad. Deal with Stalker. Village Elder. Demon Wrangler. Bone Collector. Everything's back. Okay. Axe grinders. Not what I want. I need to kill the Bone Collector before I follow up with another Ground Shaker. I need to kill that Bone Collector as well. There's so many Bone Collectors. I haven't even started with Soul Eaters yet. I'm still trying to clear Bone Collectors. All right. I have to do something. So try and get a Colossus down very soon. That's the plan. And then try and kill one of these Bone Collectors. Is that the sound? No, it's not. Okay. Was it double Wind Soldier? This is still in reach of me. If I get Flash Wind now, I don't even need Flash Wind. I have Kaleem's Training. It's a really good follow-up play for me. So I can Kaleem's Training this across, finish this off. That'll leave me on 4. Have Flash Wind instead. Okay. I don't have the land built up to make the Colossus work, unfortunately. But I think Flash Wind's just a little better. Simply because it allows me to finish this off, play the Kaleem's Training on this, so I can move this up aggressively. And then put the Sky Enemy down. And then next turn I'll take a desert. I can take a desert here, or I can just take land and then I can dash it up. Might Nightmare this. Is that a Nightmare? Oh wow, that's a Nightmare. I'm pretty happy with that. 1 cost. What's coming down here? Is this a Weeping Idol? No. It's a 1 cost Voice of Truth. That's a little frustrating. So I can clear the board, which is something I'm going to go for. I can Kaleem's Training this. Soul Drain. That leaves me on a reasonable amount. This can zip over. So yeah, I can move here actually. Kaleem's Training. Clear. Soul Drain. Move here. Take care of that. And zip the Colossus up. So my opponent's Faeria starved. And now I have a 7/7. Which is pretty good, so it means there's not going to be a Soul Eater coming down this turn at least. Ugh. That's not very nice. Don't like that. Oh, it's fine. I'm getting ready for the next Shaitan Assassin to come down, and I'll just Grind Shaker it. Oh, this one is +1/+1. he played around it. Oh, I picked up a Soul Drain. It's fine. This is like the worst way things can go, I think, where your opponent just top deck stuff. But there we have it. We did get a victory against another slow deck. So potentially in like a control mirror, this deck could be pretty good. But against like Yellow Rush and Yellow Tempo, this deck is gonna probably struggle quite a bit, especially Red Combat as well if everything lines up really well for them. But that does conclude this episode of Become a God. We've tried a different deck again. So we started off Crackthorn in episode 1. Let's try out Red Yellow Events episode 2. For episode 3, I'm going to maybe try Gem Shell again. I had a lot of fun with S of Dawn's Gem Shell deck in the past. Maybe it's been buffed a little bit now that the other decks have been toned down. So it's always worth trying old decks that haven't really blossomed in previous meta games because they could become better if other cards get nerfed. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. If you'd like to learn more about the balance patch, be sure to check out my video. I've reviewed the entire balance patch and gave my initial thoughts of how it will affect the metagame and the decks that the cards used to belong into. You can also check out episode 1 of Become a God, where you can find me piloting Green Red Crackthorn. So until next time, guys, take care and enjoy Red Yellow Events.